Today I would like to talk to you about why it's not okay for people to criticize survivors of narcissistic abuse that have made the incredibly difficult decision to go no contact with their mother or their father or someone else in their family, or in some cases, their entire family. People who do not understand narcissistic abuse are famous for saying, "But they're still your mom," or "How can you do that to your dad?" Or, "But it's your family. Family is blood. Blood is thicker than water." If you are being continually abused, gaslighted, exploited, terrorized, shamed, blamed, and ridiculed and humiliated by someone or by certain people, that means they are toxic. Those things are abusive and can have devastating consequences for the person being subjected to it. And you, nor anyone else, is under some lifetime contractual obligation to remain in contact with someone who abuses you. And let me remind everyone out there, abuse is not just physical abuse. It can be emotional, psychological, verbal, and mental, as well as physical and sexual. Just because someone hasn't been punched in the face doesn't mean that they have not been abused. And those different forms of abuse can look very different. Also, when someone has been subjected to long-term extreme narcissistic abuse, they definitely have been subjected to severe mental abuse. And because of that, their perceptions and reality have been influenced by people with very bad intentions. Usually, it's to gain and maintain control over the person's life. So telling someone who has been subjected to mental abuse that their decision isn't okay, or is the wrong, or is the universally a bad, terrible thing, is not only not accurate and completely backwards, but it can further confuse the victim as to what is true and real, and if their true perceptions are accurate, provoking the victim to question the decision they have made, and possibly maintaining or reestablishing contact with a very abusive and disturbed person. That in turn subjects this person to further abuse, which will carry lifelong consequences. So if someone tells you they have made the decision to no longer interact with a family member because they have been abused and treated terribly, and you do not understand or comprehend coercive control and narcissistic abuse, do everyone a favor and spare us your opinion. It's a very hard and a very difficult decision to make for the strongest person, but it's even harder and more confusing to the mentally abused person. In many cases, going no contact with family members for an abused person is the very best decision they could make. It certainly was in my case. So please do not judge someone who has made this difficult and heartbreaking decision. They are for once making themselves a priority and have chosen to go no contact, not to get back at someone, not to hurt or harm someone, but because they realized that was the only way to protect themselves from being abused and exploited.